right, so this video is brought to you by Big Frog Custom T-shirts, Jackpot Buy Sell Trade, and Thompson Detailing. Jayhawk TV starts now.
I want people to know that we're going to put Jeanette on the map.
Protect the tradition.
And we just have to keep working.
We're going to show people what we can do. We can show people that we can handle what everybody's talking about.
And we can't take our foot off the pedal these next couple of games.
Most of these kids know what the tradition is. They see 700-something wins.
And I know for sure we're not going to end the season with just 2 wins. That's for sure.
Coach Pallone and the 2022 Jeanette Jayhawks. You've been through quite a bit this past year. You've been through peaks, you've been through valleys. Here in Jeanette, PA, you have your faith, you have your tradition, you have your pride, and that has led you to the playoffs. All the best to you. Keep that pride and tradition rolling. We all have faith in you. We all believe that this is just another beginning.
Bishop Canevin, you're next. Jayhawks don't quit.
All right, guys, so we are here with senior manager Matthew Hall. How are you doing today, Matthew?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
Pretty good. So tell me a little bit what your job is here with the Jayhawks.
Well, basically what I do here is I just, get the water for the guys, fill them up at practice, and then basically at the games and stuff, get the balls out and everything, and the tee out on the field. I just make sure everything's all prepared.
I see you running around a lot during game time. You're a busy man, huh?
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about what being a part of the Jayhawk football team means to you, just as a person.
Well, being a part of the team here is something that's big, it's like family, Ever since my Uncle Roy, and I'm sure hopefully he'll listen to this, but ever since he brought me here last year, it's been a big change. My life has been overturned with football, and then even though I can't play, it's still
you're still part of it.
Yeah, it's still,
yeah. And we see you every Friday running right out with the team, leading the team, right? Yeah. It's always good to see. So, you're a senior this year, and as I don't know if everybody knows, he's actually my cousin. So I can't believe that you're a senior. What's next for Matthew Hall?
Well, basically what's next for Matthew Hall is he does want to graduate and he wants to have at least the next couple months to himself and just do nothing.
Just take some time and relax, huh?
Yes.
So I hear Mr. Shifka called you Matty Ice.
Yeah, that's...
When did that become a thing?
It's been a thing for a couple years now. Something that I've always loved. I've always loved that name.
Yeah. You go for the Matt Ryan theme there.
Yeah.
So we have playoff football coming up this week, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Do you do anything different to get ready?
Well, basically, I might just look up the records of the other teams that are playing, and I might just, come here to practice, just be prepared, just be ready.
Yes, always be ready. That's the Jayhawk way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have before you go to the games or before you come to practice, do you have anything that you have to do, like a tradition?
Let me see. I don't really think there is no tradition. I just, whenever we come to practice and stuff, just do the job, get everything ready and rolling. Same with the games. Whenever we go to away games, home games, just make sure everything's all prepared, ready to go, and hopefully we get some kind of win.
Now, you said your Uncle Roy brought you in, and that's Coach Hall. How different is it for Coach Hall than Coach Pallone?
Well, I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings out there, but my uncle has been, a very big part of me ever since, I was born to the family. And seeing him as a football coach is something that is, real tightly. And it really, it hurts me a bit that he's gone now.
Yeah.
But I'm really happy that he was able to bring me here at least and get me involved and be able to be with the team and be able to do something that that's just something that explodes in my mind. I mean, I've always loved Uncle Roy, always will, and hopefully there'll be something that connects between us and the rest of the family.
Yes, without a doubt. the sponsor that has been with us all season, Big Frog Custom T-shirts. They have supplied the Player of the Week shirts for all the guys that came on this season, and we want to thank them from the bottom of our hearts. We appreciate the support. Of course, they are located in Greensburg, and if you go in and mention the Jayhawk Player of the Week shirt, I'm sure my girl Deb will hook you up. That's Big Frog Custom T-shirts. All right, guys, so we're back with Matthew Hall. You know, Matthew, we got to know a lot about you as a football manager. Now, off the field, even though you said football's a big part of your life, what do you like to do?
Well, let's see. Usually when I'm not busy with football, you know, I'll forget about school. That has nothing to do with school. But when it comes to off the field, I just focus being on at home. You know, focusing time with me and my parents or my brother, playing video games or whatever I like to do at home. Doing stuff in the church, my drumming, and working on preaching.
I hear you're a pretty good drummer.
All kinds of stuff. Drumming, preaching, and praying God will allow that to go on forever.
Good. Do you think we'll see you around after graduation here?
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, I'm really playing, so.
Yeah. All right. That's great. That's great to hear, and good luck with everything the rest of the season.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
No problem. All right, guys, so a proud sponsor of Jayhawk TV is Jackpot Buy, Sell, and Trade, located on Clay Avenue. Go see my guy Joe and tell him, of course, I sent you. If you need anything, he has just about everything you can imagine. And if you're looking to trade something in, he pays the most. And he's a proud sponsor of Jayhawk TV, so it's a win-win for everybody. Jackpot Buy, Sell, Trade. All right, guys, so we're here with Jayhawk TV's Player of the Week, Jeremiah Williamson. How are you doing today, bud?
Good, how are you?
You're pretty good. How was practice?
Good.
You getting ready for playoff football?
Sure.
Yeah. What's this playoff football mean to you?
A lot. It means everything. I mean, we could come out and turn things around, surprise people.
Yeah.
It's a lot of
You think the
opportunity.
Jayhawks are going to do that? Come out and surprise some people? You know, we see you playing fullback now. What happened there that change of position happened?
I don't even know.
You just kind of stepped up where you were needed?
Yeah.
We hear off camera Lonnie Green's, giving some commentary in the background. You guys close?
Yeah.
You guys seem to play the same position and hype each other up during pregame. We see that a lot. So what's it mean to have a player like Lonnie working with you?
I mean, it's good competition. Cause you know I'm like competing with him in like tackles and stuff.
Yeah.
You know. It's more like brotherly though.
Yeah. Is that kind of what it's always been like to be a part of the Jayhawks? Just second family.
Yeah.
So you're a junior this year, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So senior year's coming up. What do we have to look forward to from you?
Like what wise?
Football wise, and like what do you think your next year's season's gonna look like?
I at least want to get Player of the Week one time. So yeah, I'm gonna come out with a whole different mentality.
Yeah, I mean, I happen to know the people that pick Player of the Week.
Really?
Yeah, it would be me and my husband.
Really?
Yeah, we take the stats and we see you in the backfield a lot. Can we expect that at the Bishop Canevin game?
Yeah.
You think you're gonna get? Can you give me a little forecast of what you think's gonna happen during that game?
I mean, we've been drawing up a lot of plays for them, you know, just trying to pick apart their vulnerabilities. So I'm mostly going to be a receiver though, but it's okay.
Oh, we have a lot to look forward to then.
Yeah.
Have you been practicing more with Peyton or Kamani?
They both get equal reps, but more with Peyton.
Yeah. So you think we can see you in the end zone a couple times, catching a couple passes?
Sure.
They call you Jerry, right?
Yeah.
We do have a question that everybody seems to want to know. What's going on with the stance of when you're in playing halfback? Is that like a 4-point stance or a 3.5-point stance?
That's a 4.
How do you get up from that so quickly?
I kind of do a push-up.
Oh, okay.
Push myself up as I run.
Yeah, because when you look at you standing there, it like hurts some of my bones to think you get up that fast. But we see what's going on the field. Off the field, what do you like to do?
Like to play video games. I like to lift. Just working for the next season, to be honest.
What video games do you like?
I've been playing the new Call of Duty recently, Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah. Like it? Is it pretty good?
Yeah.
My husband says he wants it too.
Yeah, there's a little bit of stuff wrong with it, but.
Hey, we'll take what we can get. Do you play any other sports?
I was thinking about playing basketball, but I'm probably just gonna lift.
Yeah, get ready for the next season.
Yeah.
Can we expect you a little bit bigger for next year?
Of course.
I mean, that's saying a lot because you got very nice size for single A football. So maybe we're gonna see Jeremiah Williamson the dominant factor this year or next year, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Well, good luck versus Bishop Canevin, and thank you so much. All right, guys, so we are here with Anthony Denunzio. Anthony is the voice behind Westmoreland Sports along with Brent Wingham, and he knows some Jayhawk football stats. I would say just some, right?
Well, know some stats, know a little bit of the Jayhawk football history.
Yeah.
I have such a good time on Fridays broadcasting games on the Westmoreland Sports Network with my very dear friend Brent Wingham, and it's always nice to have you at the half.
I enjoy it a lot. Yeah, so I mean, when I always have a question about Jeanette history, this is a guy I go to. So we're gonna just break down the season, see what he thinks about what's going on this season and what's maybe to come. So to start off, we finished 3-3 in the conference, 3-7 overall. How do you think the season went as a whole?
Well, I can tell you one thing, Julie, and I believe that going back to last year and what transpired and how the progression has gone, I think there's been a significant improvement just with Coach Pallone and what he has done. It's really an amazing feat. And to be here going into the playoffs in November, this Jeanette Jayhawk football team gets an extra week of practice. They get an extra week of preparation. They understand what it takes to get into the WPIL playoffs. Although, yes, they're facing a tall task.
Yes.
They just got into the playoffs, but they made it.
That's all that matters,
That was a goal that was achieved. And that is something to hang your hat on.
Yes.
Because a lot of these players on this football team have been through the struggle.
Yes.
And they've seen what it takes to get to this next level now. This is a solid foundation that they can build upon for next year. And you know what? You never know.
Yes.
You could get a win.
And to build upon for next year, like you were saying, we only have 2 seniors. Granted, they are 2 crucial parts in Mitchell Still and Andrew Ross. So we have a very young team to build on, and not to mention there's some good freshmen coming up. So the potential is endless here.
And let's talk for a moment about those seniors and what they've meant to this team.
Yes.
Andrew Ross first. Been in this program, has shown some really nice signs of improvement.
Yes.
Especially this year, had some big plays.
Yes.
Was around the ball and made some things happen. It was nice to see him get involved.
I feel like when he first started out, he kind of flew under the radar. And, with last year, everything that transpired, he kind of stepped up. And it was great to watch him go from, a player that, is just a hard-nosed player to a leader.
Sure.
And to watch that development was very nice to see.
And Mitchell Steele, he kind of started the trend to have a soccer player play for the football team.
Yes.
And not only is he a fantastic soccer player, but he has been a huge contributor to this football team in a multitude of different positions.
Yes.
Very unselfish to this team.
And not to mention, I was talking to him and I was also talking to his mom. There's days that he'll go to football practice and then right after that have a soccer game. And he was saying earlier on an earlier episode of Jayhawk TV that he drinks so much water. He says at least a gallon a day. I can't imagine how much mental toughness he has to have to coordinate 2 sports at the same time.
Well, and that's the type of personality and that's the type of individual that you want to have on your team. And that's what it takes to be a Jeanette Jayhawk. You have to be able to adapt. You have to be able to be aware of your surroundings. And you have to be involved and have your heart in it. And he's someone that we all know has his heart in it. And to be in this position as a senior on this football team, going into the playoffs, that's what you want.
Yeah, and I even talked to him. He said his next youngest brother might even throw some pads on here soon. So hopefully the Steel tradition is not over yet. You know, speaking of traditions, we have to talk about the Sanders brothers.
Well, you know, Noah has been so instrumental for this football team all year.
Yes,
he's been able to catch the football. He's been able to run the football.
Yes.
He's so widely popular.
Yes.
You know, the kick returns, the punt returns. He's the leader on this team as far as all-purpose yardage is concerned. And every time he touches the football, things happen. So they've been able to get him the football in a variety of ways, and it's made a difference.
That's actually what I was looking for. 1,655 all-purpose yards. That's an average of 150 yards per game.
Yeah, very impressive. And that's something that other teams recognize.
Yeah, oh, without a doubt.
And there's an opportunity for him to be a force in the game on Friday night.
Oh, without a doubt. And, you know, watching him run is something amazing. He goes from super fast to like turbo speed. And to see that maybe develop more next year, to think about, you know, how fast his 40 time could be. And of course, if he hits the weight room and puts on a little bit extra weight, that could be a dangerous combination.
Yeah, and he's been a joy to watch and definitely has made a difference on this Jeanette football team in 2022.
Yes, and his little brother might be coming up here soon.
Oh, yeah.
So it'll be like, who was it? James, and who was the other one that was on the team?
Well, Amani,
there we go, yeah. And then
going back to Giovanni.
Yeah, and then Giovanni and Amani. So, that the Sanders tradition is very thick here at Jeanette. You know, it's just great to watch, and I love watching the fact that he might not meet the size requirements that you would think of for a star football player, but man, his heart and his playing style is unmatched.
And in someone else that on this football team this year that has that heart, that has that drive, and is willing to sacrifice for this team is Michael Mason.
He's playing with a club.
He's got a club. He's got a mitten. He's out there no matter what.
Yes.
He's made a difference.
And you know, he just a downhill runner. You know, a good third down back, and the presence he has on the team. I feel like, you know, a lot of players look up to him.
Sure.
In the way he every day is at practice, and heck, was playing with a broken hand.
He has that drive. He has that knack. I mean, he leads the team. He's forced 6 fumbles, which is a lot.
Yeah, without a doubt.
That's a tremendous amount. And, you know, you've seen what he went through last year. And he just took beating after beating.
Yes.
He kept on coming. He kept on coming.
Yeah.
That's a Jayhawk.
Yeah, exactly. It takes a little bit more, right? And, you know, I don't think we can say enough about Michael Mason, and we're coming up on his senior year. What do you think's going to happen with him? Do you think he's going to, with Noah developing, we have Michael Mason, you know, Jeremiah Williamson. Do you think we're going to see more of him at the running back position?
I think in what Coach Pallone has done and what this coaching staff has done, they have been able to put players in positions to succeed. That is a sign of a good coaching staff. You've got to be able to put the players in a position to succeed. You have the players, put them where they need to go. Don't just say, oh, well, this guy's just his position. No, you can move. And we've seen this with successful Jeanette teams at the past. There's been a lot of good athletes and a lot of good players that could play other positions. But you know what? They gave it up for the team. When they needed a lineman, someone went in there and played.
You know what comes to mind whenever you say that is Seth Howard and Robert Kennedy. Robert Kennedy went in at wide receiver and let Seth Howard play quarterback, and look what happened.
Another good example, going back a few years, Adam Locke.
Okay.
Adam Locke was such a versatile player for this football team. They needed them to go and play on the line, and he did. And he's just, you know, one of those people that you remember that gave it up for the team. And, and you know what it equated to? Championship.
Yes, and I feel like when Michael Mason's senior year comes, I feel like he's going to be able to be talked about in that category as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And someone else that I've seen develop this year and that I'm really excited about, and Brent kind of put this coin phrase on him, Lonnie Pursuit Green.
I love the energy he brings. 11 sacks.
Yeah, he's just blossomed so much offensively and defensively. I know they've tried to get them the ball on offense a lot, and I think we're going to try to see that, you know, coming up in the game Friday, and hopefully more next year.
Yes, without a doubt. And I love the energy he brings to the field as well. You know, we were interviewing Jeremiah Williamson, and he's over there cheering on his teammate, and when you always see him around with the hype, and I like the attitude that he brings, and you know, it's not the poor attitude that might be some extracurricular stuff. It's more like, hey guys, we got to get this, you know.
And I think he's really grown up as a person, and hopefully that maturation process continues.
Oh yes.
Yeah, and someone else that has really grown in the past year and has developed so much poise is Peyton Moulter.
Oh, without a doubt. He went from a backup quarterback that we saw, you know, maybe a couple games here and there, to leading the team.
Yeah.
And not to mention literally growing. He's molded into the size and stature of a starting quarterback. And the way he drops back and, you know, can read the play, it's hard to explain, but you being a football guy can understand. He just looks so calm.
He does.
He looks like that's, you know, this is where I belong.
And he's faced a tremendous amount of adversity.
Oh, yes.
I mean, he's thrown 8 touchdown passes, only 2 interceptions.
Yeah.
QBR ratings like 135.
Yes,
You know, and he has some patience and things that they've done on offense. For example, they run that little play where he holds onto the football for a long time. It's hard to do. It's hard to sell that.
Yes.
He's done a really good job at it. And he's been able to throw the football, and when they need him to run outside and do that, he can do it.
That fake play, it's really hard for a stat keeper, just saying.
It's hard for a couple of broadcasters too. Sometimes I'm like, oh, Brent, who has the ball? And we figure it out. But
yeah, he does sell that very well. And you know, he started his career with a torn ACL, and then bounced back from that. And it's not super common to see a player bounce back the leaps and bounds he has from that type of injury as well.
Another guy that we talk about a lot on the broadcast and kind of seems to have a knack, or some of these guys along the line, like Gavin Holmeyer.
Oh,
he's there.
Sturdy.
Yeah.
Sturdy, him and Stuchel as well.
Yeah, Nick Stuchel, Jesse McCurdy. Hey, he's forced 4 fumbles, recovered 3 of them.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Jesse McCurdy is
leads the team in tackles too, right?
Yeah. He's just a hard-nosed guy, and you know, he reminds me a lot of, like, going back a little bit, but like of a Larry Foote. You know, just there when you need him. Always seems to find the ball on defense. And he was even playing halfback. So wonder what next year holds for him. Because obviously we only got to see a couple carries because that's when Michael Mason was out. But I don't know. I feel like the Jesse McCurdy show isn't over yet. Like, I feel like there's going to be a few more episodes.
Absolutely. And there's a couple other guys that are freshmen that I'm really excited about. Kamani Brown. We'll talk about him first.
Kamani Brown, you know, we were talking to Fat Man, and that, of course, is his nephew. We were saying he puts on a little bit of weight. He's going to be a force to be reckoned with. He's already looking calm. Granted, he is making some rookie mistakes, but of course, you got to go through those growing pains to get to where
he spent a lot of time on the football field, and you can see his improvement, and that's something that all of us are encouraged by.
Oh, without a doubt. And you know, he was telling me on Jayhawk TV earlier this year, he lives over by Subway in Jeanette.
I know what you're going to say.
And runs to the high school for fun. That's insane to me. And he's like, yeah, I do
That's
it.
my type of guy. You know I like to run.
But he's like, yeah, I just do it to clear my mind. And I'm thinking, I don't think I can make it down the hill without, you know, just my parents live on 4th Street. I'd probably stop there. All right, guys, so our new sponsor going into postseason is Thompson Detailing. You can get full details on cars for $185 and SUVs, trucks, and vans for $330. They also offer spray-in bed liners and undercoating. And not to mention, you know, you're searching for the perfect gift for the upcoming holiday season. Hit up my guy Jimmy and he'll hook you up because they're doing gift cards now. Thompson Detailing, check it out. All right, guys, we're back with Anthony Denunzio, and we're going to talk about one more player and some other things that happened throughout the season. The last player on the list is another freshman who is growing into the Jayhawk offense and defense at a rapid rate, and he's growing off the field too.
Yeah, I really like Noah Sunner.
Yeah,
I think
too.
he's such a nice ball player. I think there's a huge ceiling for him. I really am looking forward to seeing his development over the next few years.
Yes, without a doubt. Defensively, we've seen him in the backfield. He's a freshman.
Yeah.
And a freshman with 3 more years to grow. And, you know, I was talking to his dad. His dad said he's literally growing so much that he might have had to buy him new spikes halfway through the season. So, like, both, you know, literally and figuratively, I'm so excited to see him.
Yeah, he has gained so much experience.
Yeah.
And a lot of these younger guys on this football team, they're learning.
Yeah.
And they have this experience by being in these games.
Yes.
Now they have this experience to be in a playoff game. That's huge. You
Yes.
don't get that opportunity as a freshman or a sophomore in a lot of cases. But
Yes.
these guys, these Jeanette Jayhawks, they do. That's huge for the future.
Yes, and going into the playoffs, you know, we see our record more losses than wins. But when it comes down to it, the Jayhawks scored 223 points. Their opponents scored 285.
You wouldn't know that really if you really stopped to think about it.
Yeah, you wouldn't, like you said, think about it. But that's really not that detrimental, you know, and it's saying something for how last year went. There was a couple times we just didn't score at all. So this offense and defense, the whole team, I guess, ran by Thomas Plone and his coaching staff, is producing. We're just not quite the whole way there
Well,
yet.
and you know what else has contributed to that factor? The turnover battle.
Oh, without a doubt.
The Jeanette Jayhawks this year are +7 in the turnover department.
Yes.
That's huge. That makes a difference. You turn the football over, you have problems. If you turn it over, you're going to have a tough time winning games.
Oh, yes.
This Jeanette Jayhawk football team is +7 in the turnover margin, and that's what you need. That's a recipe for success. That's a key stat to look at moving forward. If you're ahead in that, most notably, you're going to be ahead on the scoreboard
Oh,
too.
without a doubt, yes.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's just, I talk about a lot, you know, that we need that spark. And I feel like the turnover battle is where it's going to happen. And I'm just still not over the fact that those 2 scorers were that close and we're, you know, left with the record we are. But hey,
It's definitely encouraging for the future.
hey,
so.
that and we're in the playoffs.
Gotta be
That's all.
positive.
That's all that matters. All right. Well, we'll stop here and then we'll talk about. All right, so Anthony, we're playing Bishop Canevin. We're traveling the whole way to McMurray. The Jayhawks have a little bit of history with Bishop Canevin.
There's some history there.
Yeah.
There's some tradition dating back a couple decades.
Yes.
But most recently, let's go back to last year. Jeanette played Bishop Canevin at Dormont Stadium, lost 35-0. In 2020, here at McKee Stadium, Jayhawks were victorious, 49-0. And you got to go back to 2017 here at McKee Stadium. Jeanette was a winner, 51-7.
Yes.
In 2016, we went down to Dormont Stadium and won there, 40-0. So those are the most recent ones.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
Okay.
But you being the stat guy and the history guy, I know you got a little bit deeper into this, right?
Well, there's two playoff games, that were very crucial in Jeanette Jayhawk football history.
Yes, without a
The
doubt.
first one we're going to talk about was played right here on this field in 1995.
Yes.
It was a home playoff game, and Jeanette beat Canevin 27-6. That was the year the Jayhawks won the conference championship. Okay, and there was a lot of, drive for the Jayhawks to possibly get back to the championship game, but the first step was beating Canevin, and that was such an exciting game here. All the Pittsburgh news stations were here, and the Fedco zone was here.
Oh man,
Skylights was here.
That's dating a little bit back.
Yeah, and you know what? We won the Spirit Award that game. And you know why I know is because I got the Spirit Award in the gym at the high school. They came to visit, and I held that thing up and ran it around the gymnasium. We were so happy.
Yes.
And that game was really cool because obviously I was in high school.
Yeah.
And there were some Hall of Famers that were on that team. Some Jeanette Athletic Hall of Famers. Gerald Foster was the quarterback, Michael Jones was on that team. He's a Hall of Famer. He returned a punt return for a touchdown that game. He also caught a pass for a touchdown from Gerald Foster in that game. Also had David Smitley was a senior running back on that team. He ran for 91 yards. Jamie Morton, a junior on that team, 77 yards rushing. So those are the few of the guys that were instrumental in that playoff victory over Canevin.
Yes, and you know what's great is I was very young then, but still know those names. So that goes to show you how deep in Jayhawk history those names are, and how prevalent.
Yeah.
There we go. They are.
So another a significant game, Jeanette Canevin game. This is actually a WPIL championship game.
Okay.
1983.
Wow.
At Mount Lebanon.
Oh wow, yeah.
Jeanette won 6-0.
Oh.
6-0, and it was a 2 field goal.
I was going to say, was it a 2 field goal? Or
Mark Brasco kicked a 46-yarder and also a 38-yarder.
Those are pretty significant for a high school kicker.
So significant that Mark Brasco broke the state record that season for most field goals.
Really?
Yep.
Wow. So the history of Bishop Canevin and Jeanette runs a little bit deeper.
Oh, it
than,
runs deep.
You know, a lot of people know, because we played them. Obviously, we just listed those games, but they're not like a usual opponent.
No, but there's been some prominent games, and you know, you had 2 Hall of Famers, Jeanette Athletic Hall of Famers on that team as well. Maurice Chamberlain, Dante Wiley, also Al Rivardo was on that team, Richie Miller. Those were guys that were significant that season. WPIL champions.
Again,
got a lot of them.
Yeah.
32, 39, 56, 71, 81, 83, 06, 07, 17, and 20. Hopefully it gets up there. Hopefully we get a new scoreboard. Hopefully that's coming soon.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, that's all of them.
Did you see he did that without looking? I was trying to follow.
Someday soon we're going to get another one.
Okay.
We're gonna have a few more WPL championships to add, and I know Coach Pallone has them coming.
Hopefully some state championships.
Yes, they're on the way.
Yes, without a doubt. So this Friday, we're gonna travel to McMurray. So what do you think we're gonna see?
I think we're going to see a Jeanette football team that's very excited. They're thankful to be there. They know what it has. They put in the work to get there.
Yes.
And they understand that they're facing a tall task in Canevin. But I think they're looking forward to that opportunity, and I think they're going to give it their best shot. There's been no letdown on this team. There's been no letdown on this team for 2 years. There just really hasn't. They faced some strong adversity, and they're always right there. So I don't see that being any different.
Yes, and that's another big topic that I'd like to talk about is, you know, despite what the scoreboard has said, I've never seen a Jayhawk player hang their head.
No.
And I love they're trying to protect the tradition, but I love that energy that, that Coach Pallone's bringing to these guys, regardless of what the scoreboard says.
No doubt about it. And I'm looking forward to the game Friday night, and looking forward to the playoffs, and, looking forward to the future, because the foundation, once again, is being built.
It's only going to go up from here.
No doubt.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Anthony.
Thank you.
Yes. All right, guys, that does it for this week's episode of Jayhawk TV. This Friday, the Jayhawks hit the road for playoff football. That's right, playoff football. So stay tuned to see what our Hawks do. And of course, I hope to see you there.